GBPUSD Weekly Recap from the week just gone. That was ending on like the 17th. So nice and beautiful price action that we saw throughout the week on GU. Lots of really good opportunities. Very, very profitable pair to trade last week. So yeah, some trades that were really simple, some trades that were not so simple, but all of them were very, very clean and nothing super high risk or anything like that. Just super tidy setups in terms of repetition on the setups, just same setups and just different locations, but just goes to show the power of waiting for your confirmations and entering when you do. So getting straight into the week, basically what we had, so we had prices in a bit of a weird spot. So starting into the week, we were inside of this leg here, expecting price to potentially continue bearish, targeting some of our lower points before coming up to further up inside of what was our 4-hour bearish range. So coming into the Monday session, now, as you would have heard me explain on Euro USD, London sessions just haven't been it lately. So we were sitting inside of this point here when we came into our London session. Didn't have anything in terms of significant inducements, didn't have anything in the way of significant mitigations or anything like that. So it was a bit of a nothing session. Leading into our New York part of the session, we had price induce this significant high. After inducing that significant high, we had one of our favorite entry models play out here, which we were able to capitalize on to get into that trade. Brad caught this trade. I took the EU one. So yeah, really, really clean setup. Great way to start the week with a 1 to 5 banked and sorted right there. So beautiful price action, very clean, very easy to be able to catch that setup. It was a bit of a fast one and it was quite late. It was, 150. 350 London time. So very, very late trade, but always good to stay up for those trades when they do pay off for the 1 to 5. Makes it very, very worthwhile. Leading in from there, so after that point, we had a very bit of a sideways price action after this inducement. So again, leading into London, no significant inducements, no significant mitigations, a bit of nothing. Was pretty clear where price was looking to go, except we were looking for price to step up and induce some of these points inside of here, some of these wicks over here, before going bearish, except price just had sort of intentions to go bearish straight away. And we didn't have any way of being able to get into this leg down, which was a little bit unfortunate. As price then stepped down and mitigated this point underneath, we were then looking for actually buys, except you can see, unfortunately, the way the price came down, it came straight back up. There was no way to be able to capitalize on that move. So we did unfortunately miss this whole leg down and this whole leg up, but that's okay. There was lots of other trades and having banked a 1 to 5 the night before, perfect. From there, leading into New York, again, a late New York session trade, but really, really good trade. Price then stepped up, induced this significant high here, gave the same entry model here that played out here. Exact same thing, sort of same position, same confirmations, exact same scenario, and turned out to be a 1 to 5 again as well. Funny that. So after that played out, that was really clean. Price then came up and got really, really high inside of our 4-hour range and our bearish, our bullish 1-hour range. So after them pushing up from there, we got into a bit of an awkward spot with where price was. Wednesday was a big news day. So again, same thing for London. No significant inducements, no significant mitigations, no trade, nothing. New York, news. As you can see, we had this massive news candle here. Made it really awkward to try and trade price and do anything with. So we did sit that session out, let price do its thing. Leading in from there, Thursday, we actually came right up. We mitigated our 4-hour point, which sat about there with price action, and then started to work our way back down. There was a break-even trade inside this point after that mitigation, but then price obviously pushed back through. A bit of a riskier setup, not the greatest setup to take if you're not up for the week, but being up for the week, it's more than a valid trade to take. Basically, what happened was we had the mitigation, and then we had an entry model play out here. The entry was positioned like this, with an entry underneath there, covering the low, and then obviously price pushed up. Went to, a little bit over 1 to 3. before coming back down. So didn't hit our 1 to 5 target, but that's the one still not a bad setup. I'll leave it on there. Not a bad setup at all. Nothing wrong with that trade. Bit of a higher risk one that you take, like I said, if you're already up for the week, which we were at that point. So that's perfectly fine. Leading into New York. So New York had a break even and then a 1 to 5 afterwards. So price came down, induced this significant low, and then gave us an entry model. Same entry model that we had playing at before, that took those other two 1 to 5s, which turned out to be a break even on this one. And that's perfectly fine. That's all good. Break even is better than a loss, and this is why we obviously manage our risk accordingly. Price only pushed up just far enough to be able to get that break even, but good to be able to catch that there. From there, we had a continuation set up here, which is very, very clean. That ran 1 to 5. Now this one, very hard trade to catch, a lot more complex, more so targeting significant areas, targeting the inducement of points or mitigation of other points. So that one was a bit more of a complex trade to catch. But in terms of continuation entries and continuation setups, that trade was spot on. So really clean, beautiful, beautiful entry. Friday then had a really, really nice trade. So Friday, of course, we had this break here, giving us this little internal range here. High risk in terms of the fact that we were reacting out of a 4-hour point, which sat up the top here like this. So this point was less significant in terms of the higher time frame momentum of the market. However, we had some divergence with Euro USD being about down here on its pair, and obviously GU respecting this low here. So with the divergence that we had, and then our entry model that has played out here, this was one that unfortunately we did miss because of it being a little bit higher risk and us not looking at that pair. Or sorry, not that area. We didn't take this trade, but in terms of the actual trade itself, very, very clean. Had some inducements, had some market structure shifts, and then had our entry play out. So yeah, beautiful trade. If you had have caught that one would have hit our 1 to 5. It also actually ran to, I think, about 1 to 9. Yeah, 1 to 8.8. So beautiful, beautiful trade, beautiful profits to be taken on that trade. Unfortunate 1-2 miss. Can't catch them all. Followed our rules, and sometimes following your rules when you know areas have a low probability of holding, sometimes it will lead you to miss trades, but in the long run, it's going to help profitability. So perfectly fine with missing that trade. Not disappointed by the miss of that at all. In terms of 15-minute price action down, A+. A little bit risky when you start taking into consideration what the higher time frames were doing. So all good to miss that one, all part of the parcel. But overall, very good week on GU. Very good week. Lots of really good trades, lots of good entries. Price didn't set up too many trades that turned out to be losses or anything like that as well, which is really, really clean. So overall, great analysis, great setup for the week, and great pair to be trading. We'll continue to watch this trade, watch this pair very closely, as we always do leading into this week. And hopefully we can have a repeat of last week with the price action that we saw and have another very profitable week. Thanks, guys.